What's going on, crew? The cash line is really low tonight. So with Alfariq Aminu playing, I still think that we have a very good chance of getting into that money. Tonight. So with Alfariq Aminu, I feel pretty good about it. I was just in the cash, and I don't know what happened because the Boston game is still going on, so that's why. But still feel pretty good. Still feel pretty good about tonight. Um, gonna What's going on, Prodigy? Gonna get into tomorrow's slate really quick before I go get some rest. I doubt that I'm gonna be up for this last game anyway. So the question is Westbrook or no Westbrook, and it's a $14,000 question to answer. Okay, I've never seen a fantasy player at 14K ever. I've been playing this for about 4 years now. Won a lot of money, lost a lot of money. I've never seen a 4K fantasy player, right? Now, I was under the impression that Westbrook was waiting to go back home to break that record. But there's only one more home game for Oklahoma, and that's the last game of the season. So I don't think he's going to risk it. I don't think he's going to risk it having a record. All right. Now, if you look at, he needs about 85 to hit value. Okay. He played this team 3 times already. And he's averaging 87 points, 6 times value. All right. At a price like that with history on the line, it's very hard for me not to play Westbrook. But with a price like that, it's very hard for me to play Westbrook. And for the last 2 hours, I've been here sitting saying, am I going to play Westbrook or am I not going to play Westbrook? So I've came to a decision, guys. I'm going to make 2 lineups tomorrow, and I'm going to play both of them equally because I think it's worth having Westbrook. And I think we can do well with Westbrook. And I think we can do well without him. So just in case he busts, I'm gonna have 2 lineups. They're both gonna do good. I saw both lineups. I feel pretty good about them. And also if he does well, not only will the lineup without him do well, but the lineup with him will do well, and we can win double tomorrow. So that's the conclusion. Normally I'll fade a guy like this on the road, but in the perfect matchup where he's already showing that he's successful against that team, he's chasing history. It's almost impossible. It's like if he was 20K, I would probably consider. No, I'm exaggerating. So let's see what you guys think about Westbrook. Jeremiah said, "How about hell no to Westbrook?" All right. So let me break down. Let's get into the slate, man. We're gonna get to it. I really don't feel like getting into all these games, especially when I have a lineup. Atlanta versus Cleveland. All right. Now, LeBron James, I don't think he'll rest tomorrow, but with Schroeder being as bad as I just want to go over some scores from today before I even get into this slate. Let me so people that I felt good about today all did well. All did well. We had out of the top 5 people, we had 3? We had Jimmy Butler, Alfred Payton, and Paul George. So 3 out of the top 5 we had. Minus Jeremy Lin, we could have had 4 out of 4. And shout out to you, Jeremiah, because you were very high on Jeremy Lin. And I was saying that he's just stuck around 30 for some reason. And he went on for a 50 bomb. So, Jeremiah, I hope you played him, man. I hope you found a way to stick him in that lineup that I had. If you took out Brook Lopez and went Jeremy Lin, you're looking very good right now. You're in the money for sure. So I don't know how you approach that situation, but I know that you were big on him. And like I said last night when you showed your frustration about Deadman, and I'm going back Deadman again tomorrow, just so you know. But I said to you, if you like all my picks, but it's one that you really don't like that, take them out and put the one that you like in. So even Peyton, I know that you didn't like Peyton too much. If you took out Peyton, well, they had the same points, but Lynn was $1,000 cheaper. So I don't know what you did, but if you stuck with your gut and you wrote on Lynn tonight, then you're a happy man right now, and that's a sure thing. Players that I like tonight. So I had Vucevic and Lopez in my lineup. I ended up taking out Vucevic and sticking with Lopez, and I should have done the opposite, right? Then when I was trying to do a late night breakdown, I really liked Millsap. I saw the matchup that he was in, and he really stood out to me. And I kind of said, he's coming off the bench, and I stood away. Right now, Millsap is over 6 times value. He's at 44 at 7K. That would have been great value. But I didn't really look into that game other than Isaiah Thomas. Other people that I really like today now, Marcus Smart dropped a 40 bomb. Good for him. 5K, it's a little pricey. IT I liked. He tanked. Thank God we faded that. Aaron Gordon I liked. He's at 37, so that's a decent call. I did say that Tim Hardaway is in a good spot. I just couldn't do it against Avery Bradley, but he's in a good spot. He's doing well. Torian Prince, that whole game. If you stack this Atlanta game, it's a good game. But what I'm really trying to get at is Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie went off for about 8 times value today. All right. I didn't get to him because he was only forward eligible, small forward. So instead, I went with Justin Holiday, who also went off for about 8 times value. Justin Holiday had 24. Jody Meeks had 23. So it's a lot of good value. The cash line is really low, so it's not hard to cash tonight, especially with Aminu coming up. I think Aminu is gonna drop a 40 bomb. I just feel it deep in my gut. And if he does that, not only will I be in the money in my tournaments, but I think I'll win my 10-time boosters if Aminu comes through the way I think he will tonight. So just wanted to go through that a little bit. Now let's get back to the slate. So Atlanta versus Cleveland. Now, normally I don't like Kyrie Irving, all right? But with Schroeder on a back-to-back traveling, well, I think Kyrie Irving, you just have to play. He's played 2 games against him. He's averaging 54. And the fact that he just had a bad game after 3 games in the 40s at home in a very good matchup, I think I got to go with Gabriel Santana with this one, man. Kyrie Irving is in a good spot. There's no reasons not to play him. You know what I mean? And good matchups, he does okay. He did 40 bomb in Indiana, Philly, Orlando. Boston, he should have did better, but LeBron just really took over that game. And it's going to be hard for them to contain Kyrie. Shooter, all right? I like Shooter too because they both play no defense, but Kyrie is the safe option. Shooter just really dropped a snowflake tonight. I'm not messing with that, all right? So let's go ahead and fire up some Kyrie. I like LeBron, but not for 10-6 tonight, all right? Especially when people are trying to pay up on some Westbrook. Now, LeBron, he can go off, and there's no reason to think he wouldn't. It's just that I think let's look at the Cavs schedule, all right? Take a look at the Cavs schedule to end the season, all right? So they play tomorrow. They have one day off, and then they play Sunday. They're playing the same teams. I want to say that LeBron, if anything, I think he sits out Sunday because that's a back-to-back game. So I think he plays tomorrow and then sit out on Sunday. That would make more sense. So he'll play on the 7th, and then he'll play the 10th. 3 days off and then a day off, and then the Raptors at the end. And with Celtics losing today, I don't think they're going to be hard pressed to run LeBron as much. I like LeBron a lot tomorrow. He's in a good spot. It's just that price, man. 10-6 for some LeBron. You know, if we get 60 for 10-6, we're okay because 60 is good, but it's not really value that we're looking for, you know. And outside of that 80-point game, he's been in the 50s and whatnot. Just not sure about LeBron. I think he's a little expensive, to be honest. I'd rather AD for that similar price. AD is in a good matchup, and Cousins is pretty much doubtful. And I think Kyrie is going to take over this game. I think this is Kyrie's opportunity, and they both can have a good game. LeBron is averaging 60 against this team, and so is Kyrie. I've averaging 55 against this team. So I'll take Kyrie because he's cheaper and just keep it moving in this game. Kevin Love is gonna have a hard time with those bigs. Plus, they're very careful with Kevin Love. They want him for the playoffs. They're not really gonna exhaust him unless they have to. And then with Dwight Howard and Millsap, I don't know about Millsap on the back-to-back with him also being a little banged up. But that's all I like. And then on Atlanta side, on the Atlanta side, Schroeder's in a good spot. Kyrie doesn't play defense. It's just that Schroeder could be in a good matchup and still don't hit value. Brooklyn, he 38. All right. Philly, 22. So way too inconsistent. And I really hate rostering that guy. And then I'm not interested in anyone else. Anyone else that I do like a little bit, it would be the guards. Tim Hardaway Jr. again. Guards against Cleveland is a good thing, and Hardaway Jr. is playing okay. Bazemore off the bench could be a good thing. I think Bazemore off the bench today is having a decent game, as a matter of fact. 12 points, 4 steals, so that's 20, 23, 24, 25. So Bazemore off the bench today is doing all right. He fouled out, but in just 19 minutes, he did okay. I think he'll get that same amount of minutes tomorrow. I think he'll do well. So I like those guys, all right? Moving on, Miami versus Toronto. I like to pick on Toronto, especially with what's his name back, Kyle Lowry. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire up some Dragic. Love Dragic tomorrow a lot, and then Hassan Whiteside I like a lot more than a little bit. He's consistent in the 40s, man. And at this point, if we don't get 6 times value, but we can get 40 plus for a short thing, which is about 5 times value for him, I'll take it. In 3 games against this team, he's averaging 43.7. Now, Toronto is tough with the bigs, but Whiteside is Whiteside, man. Valanciunas cannot put a body on Whiteside. Valanciunas is actually kind of soft. So, Whiteside I like. I don't know if I can spend $8K on him tomorrow, but if you like him just as much, if Whiteside was someone that you were considering that you're on the fence about, you have my green light that he is a good play tomorrow, and I think he will perform well. James Johnson, is he going to get the starting spot again? I don't know. I'm always scared. Even this game, the first half, Johnson did nothing. Then he came out in the second half and got hot. And I was like, whoo, he saved us. We don't know if he's going to get hot again tomorrow, okay? We just don't know. So, I'll be careful with Johnson for 6'6". We need about 40, and that's like his ceiling. He doesn't have too much upside against Toronto, especially for that price. Serge Ibaka is a force. All right, so I'll be careful with James Johnson. And then Josh Richardson is hot, guys. It's hot like fire. 30 and 3 out of the last 4 games, so give him a look as well. Magruder is streaky. He can get you 12 and then 24, 23, then 5. DeRozan is not big on defense. So I like Josh Richardson. I think he's very sneaky tomorrow. That's that game. Detroit versus Houston is a game I'm staying away from. On the Houston side, we know that people are banged up. Harden got some hand issues. And 60s is pretty much what we could expect. And why pay 12K for Harden tomorrow? It just doesn't make sense. Harden is just in a bad spot tomorrow. I don't like it. I don't like any Houston players. I don't like any Detroit players. Maybe some Trevor Ariza, but for 6K, they're getting a little bit out of hand with that price. Capella is probably my favorite Rocket because he's just been crazy consistent, but then it's Drummond on the other side, so it's tough. And on the other side, Ish Smith for 6K, be careful. Pat Beverly is annoying. Do like Udry again off the bench. Udry has been solid as a rock, man. 23, 32, 18, 17. So since Reggie Jackson went out, Oubre getting minutes, he's good for at least a point per minute. There's no game that he doesn't score a point per minute for. So we know he's going to get minutes in the 20s tomorrow in this high-paced game. He's a very good distributor. He can pass the ball. He can score. Plays defense. They get to the line a little bit. Seek value in Udry going to the end of the season, guys. You will not regret it, especially in good matchups. All right. Yeah, let's consider some Udry. I don't mind that. And then that's about it. Everything else is a toss up. We could never get Detroit right. Don't try tonight. It might go Tobias. It might be Marcus Morris. So don't really get carried away thinking that you got the remedy for the Pistons. You just got to guess, and hopefully you get it right. But it's not a risk that I'm willing to take. All right, let me see what my crew talking about in YouTube. We got a lot of chatter going on. A lot of chatter. PG is the hardest position I'm struggling with tomorrow. Kyrie makes sense. Love Kyrie tomorrow. Schroeder, no respect for Schroeder. None. Zero. Zero. A lot of people like Jokic tomorrow. Somebody else was talking to me on Twitter about that. Not a big fan of Joker. Too inconsistent. Yeah, I do get sleepy. I'm tired as hell right now. I'm ready to go sleep. Westbrook, 14K is not too much because in 3 games he's averaging 6 times that price for his price. So AD, got no love for love. Kyrie and AD, I like. I got Kyrie and AD in my non-Westbrook lineup, just so you know. I don't like Goran or Tyler. No Hassan either. Yeah, the only reason I'm not locking in Whiteside is because of the stitches in his hand. But Goran, I mean, he got his groove back. The last game, it looked like he's back, man. Take some Goran. Do it comfortably. I like Goran tomorrow. Yeah, I'm fading this whole game. Nene is okay. Nene is worth a look, but he comes off the bench. It's the end of the season. They're pretty locked in where they are. It don't make sense getting these guys hurt. And the matchup is not great, so I'm not interested. And then New York versus Memphis. I presented a question to one of the Simplified crew members. I said, if you had to pick 2 out of 3 between Drew Holiday, Mike Conley, and Goran Dragic, and we came to agree on Dragic and Drew Holiday tomorrow for the matchups. But I do like Conley. I say that to say that I like Conley. Conley's been hot. Yes, he didn't do well against San Antonio, but Lakers, Dallas, and Indiana, he did very well against those teams. All right. He's been hot, man. The guy's been hot. He's been consistent. He doesn't really have a good track record with the Knicks, but the Knicks are coming off of a back to back. Conley is hosting. I like Conley tomorrow. He is a risk, but when he gets it going, he can be a reward as well. So highlight some Conley. Tony Allen, I don't know if to believe it, but he's been striving. I don't know if I can get there. But I like a little less than a little bit. All right. Um Zach Randolph, I can't do it. And then Gasol. Gasol I like tomorrow. Love Gasol tomorrow. He's in a good spot. He needs mid-40s. He just dropped 48 against OKC. So if those couple games off got him healthy and he's back, then there's a reason to go Gasol tomorrow. But I gotta see a little more consistency before I lock him in. All right. This San Antonio game I'm gonna do last because I'm seeking a lot of value from it. Minnesota versus Utah. Now I know that Rubio is a good player that I like to pick on. Let me just see what Amino got going on so far, guys. Real quick. 0. I don't like 0. Why is it says 0? Oh, the game didn't start yet because this Boston game is getting close. So anyway, let's see what we got here. Rubio against Utah. I know that Utah plays good D, but I still like Rubio. I'm not gonna pick Rubio because he's on the road on a back to back. I'm a little concerned about that, but Rubio is in a good spot. Don't hesitate on some Rubio, okay, guys? Play Rubio and feel good about it. Shabazz Muhammad, no. Tyus Jones, no. Brandon Rush, I always feel good about Brandon Rush, but the Jazz play good defense. I don't really like anyone else. Towns is gonna have a hard time. Hard time. Now, if you know me, you know I like to go centers against Town. Town's gonna be coming off of a back to back, and Gobert should have a field day against him. Okay. It's just like Gobert for that price. We need 50. For me to expect 50 out of Gobert at this point, it's reaching. It's too much reaching. We don't know what's going on with George Hill. I wouldn't play him either way. I'll stay away from this game. It's not a lot of appeal to it, honestly. My favorite player is probably like some Joe Johnson, only because of how super consistent he is. But even then, I'm not super excited with Joe Johnson. So see what you guys think about what I think. What about Nene, Faye? I like Drew. No Rubio, hate the matchup. Hill might be back as well. Yeah, I'm not crazy about Rubio, but I think he could be sneaky. I think he could be surprising. New Orleans versus Denver. This is the game that I like. I like a lot. Now, From reading notes, it looks like DeMarcus Cousins is going to be out. It says that he's questionable. All right. Now, the last time these two teams played, I didn't have Cousins or AD, and I was so pissed off about it. I went Antetokounmpo instead. If I would have spent $200 more, which I had to spend, I would have killed that night. I am not going to make that mistake again. You got to take bigs against Denver. You have to. All right, you just have to. Now, on Davis and Cousins, it says it's a bad matchup, but it's really not because one of those guys are going to play center. And you look at center against Denver, it's Green. Okay, it's a good matchup. Now, Cousins got some stuff going on with his Achilles. They're not playing for anything at this point. They're out the playoffs. And quite frankly, you don't want him to blow an Achilles. He doesn't want to. I don't even think he wants to play that game. Okay, he's about to. I don't know if he's opted in or out, but he's due for some serious money right now. There's no reason to blow an Achilles and jeopardize millions. The stock, the what they call it, the salary cap is flying through the roof. This guy is owed money. I don't see DeMarcus Cousins playing tomorrow. For that reason, I'm going to go ahead and fire up some Anthony Davis. Now, if DeMarcus Cousins is confirmed throughout the day tomorrow, I'm going to come down from Anthony Davis and go to LeBron James, without a doubt. The only reason I'm fading LeBron James tomorrow, and I think LeBron is going to play, I think he'll sit Sunday. Just looking at the schedule, it makes more sense for him to sit on Sunday. Love Anthony Davis if DeMarcus Cousins sits, okay? Then on the same team, Drew Holiday, he's just too consistent against this team. They played twice, and he's in the 40s twice. They just played with AD in the game, and he scored 47. Without AD, he's going to do the same thing. We know that before Cousins came, stacking up Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis was a thing to do. It was very profitable. And if Cousins sits, it's the same thing. Don't be afraid. On the Denver side, I like Jokic. Everyone else likes Jokic. Jokic makes sense tomorrow. He's cheaper than both Twin Tower. There's no reason not to consider Jokic, okay? The only thing is he's so inconsistent, even in good matchups. Yes, he went to Houston and had 60, but in New Orleans, he only had 40. Miami, 40. Charlotte, 60, okay. Portland, 40. New Orleans, 27. So they played twice in the last 10 games, and he had a hard time hitting value against this team. I'm not sure if I'm really feeling Jokic tomorrow, okay? Someone that I am feeling in this game quite a bit, though, is Danilo Gallinari. Boom. Let's get him in there. He is super consistent, guys. Super consistent. 30, 41, 41, 32. Even if I get the 5-time value, I'll take it. But to have 40 upside with 6K in a matchup that you just dropped 40 against, I like it. Love Gallinari tomorrow. Gotta have some Gallinari in there, okay? So looking at this lineup so far, we're not reaching too much, and we still have some good picks, okay? We haven't reached, and we got some good, strong players in this lineup. This lineup is very strong. Kyrie, Drew, Gallinari, Anthony Davis, Dragic. All right? It looks good. Don't be shy, guys. Don't be shy. And then that's it for that game. On the Denver side, that's all I like is Gallinari and Jokic. If Nelson doesn't play, then Moutier, definitely I'll consider some Moutier for sure. I'm actually looking at Patty Mills. But if Nelson play, so he's doubtful, so we could pretty much say he's out. Yeah, man, this is gonna be a high scoring game. I like the idea of stacking up on this game a little bit, man. I don't mind considering some Moutier here. Not at all. Love Moutier. All right, and then this is a lineup I'm gonna make without Westbrook for now. Okay, guys, and then I'm gonna do the Westbrook lineup. I'm gonna reveal it when I'm done. Moving on, OKC versus Phoenix. Love Westbrook. Love Westbrook. Ha 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 ha. Love Oladipo. Love all the Thunder in this game because it's Phoenix and they're just throwing fantasy points. How could you not love the starting center against Phoenix that costs $4,100? Love Steve Adams tomorrow. I'm in love with Steve Adams. Get some Steve Adams in your lineup. I know he's been struggling, but look at who he's been playing. He's been playing Memphis with Gasol down there. Okay, Milwaukee is a little bit. All right, Charlotte he could have did better, but what? San Antonio he did 6 times value for his price. Orlando he could have did better. Dallas he didn't do too bad for his price. I like Steven Adams, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Westbrook is gonna throw so many lobs to him tomorrow, and I'm having a hard time thinking Alex Len is gonna come out early and do anything about it. So like Steven Adams for that price, a little bit risky. Like Allen Williams tomorrow, a lot more than a little bit. Love Allen Williams tomorrow, man. I think he's gonna get into foul trouble though. Westbrook and the way that they play, they impose a lot of fouls on the opposing team. Okay. Um, Golden State was without Draymond Green. They didn't really have too much of a. They had David West who was shooting a lot, and he still got 4 fouls. The Thunder are gonna get that guy fouled out, which makes me like Len quite a bit. I think Len gets a little extra run and he do well tomorrow. All right, Ulyss I like. Anybody that guards Westbrook I like because they're gonna get a couple steals. All right. Um, and then Devin Booker. I mean, he's gonna play 50 minutes. There's 48 minutes in a game, and he's playing 40 every game mostly. All right. I mean, yes, he's been struggling. I don't love him for AK, but he's worth some consideration, and I don't see why not with Devin Booker. TJ Warren, same thing. The only thing is Oladipo and Roberson play decent defense. I do see this game getting out of hand, but it's a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, guys. A lot of stuff going on tomorrow, and then Sacramento versus Lakers. Somebody that's been super consistent that I like is Nance Jr. All right, love Nance Jr. Jr. is crashing the boys, getting 9. If he'd have got one more rebound this game, that'd have been about 36. He'd have hit 7 times value for that price. He just put up 40. Since Zubac went down, this guy's been doing well. So I like Larry Nance Jr. tomorrow. I do. I do like Larry Nance Jr. tomorrow. This lineup right here, I can't afford him, but I can afford him in my Westbrook lineup, which is great news. All right. Let me see what you guys are talking about. See what y'all talking about. Moutier minutes is not as suspect if Nelson sits, and Nelson is doubtful. So don't be afraid to get Moutier in that good matchup tomorrow, especially with no Cousins. Moutier is okay. He's all right for that price, 3,800. And Murray is not a point guard. I don't consider Murray a point guard. Devin Booker definitely too high. What I think about Chris, what I do think about Chris is that OKC is tough on bigs, especially since Taj Gibson. He needs mid-30s. In 20 minutes, he's putting up 17. So if he plays 40 minutes, that's mid-30s. The amount of minutes that they're giving, well, he's only playing 25 and 28 minutes. I can't say I love Chris. You know why? Honestly, it's because they've been getting Jared Dudley more minutes. Jared Dudley is playing minutes in the 30s. So Chris, with his minutes limited, being a rookie and inexperienced, going against some veterans tomorrow and some, it's just not looking good. Taj Gibson and whatnot is not gonna let Chris have his way tomorrow. So I would pivot off Chris and take a look at Dudley. Dudley's been hot since getting minutes extended. So Dudley is the guy I like more than Chris tomorrow. All right. I have Drew. I do have Drew in my lineup. I have Drew and Goran. And then the value game, the game that we're looking for all the value. San Antonio versus Dallas. All right. On the Dallas side of the ball, I like Yogi Ferrell if Seth Curry misses. He was ruled out Wednesday. We don't know what he's going to do on Thursday. But Yogi, when he starts, he does well. When he gets 30 minutes, he's about a point per minute kind of guy. Love Yogi Ferrell tomorrow. Pick on some Yogi, do it with confidence. If Seth Curry is going to miss, right? It's too soon to finalize lineups, but I'm just telling you guys who I like ahead of time. Moving on. And I apologize for the weird live stream I did earlier. My computer was really messing up, and then the slate was a very hard slate to break down. It was a bit of a challenge for me. So I did want to apologize for that as well. All right. To continue on the Spurs. So Wesley Matthews, not really digging it. Devin Harris, I still like. He's hitting 6 times value more times than not. For the minimum, I do like Devin Harris. Harrison Barnes, I do not like. Dirk, I do not like. Noel, I do not like. Medri, I think is interesting. Medri is the one that's going to get most of the minutes coming down to the end. And against the Clippers, he had a good game. He did well. So I like Medri. Play Medri and feel good about it. On the San Antonio side of the ball. Now, people that I've been speaking to seem to be afraid to play San Antonio players because they're playing Dallas, and Dallas is such a good defensive team. For one, Dallas is going to rest a lot of players. I won't be surprised if Harrison Barnes, Seth Curry, and that's two of their best defenders, okay? For two, Yogi Fell, if he starts, sucks. He's not able to guard these guys. For three, the least that I see San Antonio scoring is 85 points tomorrow. So no matter how much defense that has to be played, they have to score. The ball is going to be scored. Okay, people are going to score, and even if it's a defensive game, people are going to get a lot of rebounds because there's going to be a lot of contested shots. There's going to be a lot of stats available in this game. It's hard for me to say fade an entire team because of a matchup, especially when your starters are all minimal price. All right. All their starters are sitting except for Tony Parker. Okay, there's going to be no Danny Green, no Ginobili, no Kawhi Leonard, no Aldridge, okay, no Paul Gasol. Those are the people responsible for most of this team's points. You got to take advantage of it. Now, it's like going fishing. You're throwing a fishing rod into a value ocean and you're hoping to pick the right fish, right? So I'm going to help you guys. The first person I like is Dwayne Dedman. Now, people yelled at me the last time because he only dropped 11 against the Lakers, but it was a rare occurrence. Okay, he scored 0 points. Why? Because they didn't look to him to score points. They had Kawhi, LMA playing. All those guys took the shots. All right, but tomorrow there's not a lot of people to take shots. There's more shots available to him for him. Okay, now looking at Dedman on that last game that I'm referring to, in just 25 minutes, he still was able to get 6 rebounds, a block, and a steal. All right. For a minimum price, the only thing he didn't do was score. He doesn't have to score, guys. When he gets more minutes, look, he scored 8 points and get you 25 fantasy points. All right. 8 points, 25. 5 points, 20. For 3K, we just won around 20. And with all those guys resting, if you don't play Dedman tomorrow, you're going to regret it. I'm telling you. You got to get Dedman in there, okay? People are going to be off of him because of that 11-point game, but you got to have some Dedman tomorrow. It's too much value. I feel the same way about David Lee. It's just that David Lee is 5K, which means we need 30 from him. It's not impossible, but the min-price players are the ones that I want to target because it's easier for them to get to value. All right. Yes, Dallas do play good defense, so this game might be very low scoring. But the minimal price guys, you got to target them because they're liable of getting so much stats. All right. Now, with the 2 guard and the 3 guard both sitting, I have reasons to think Kyle Anderson is good value tomorrow. All right. For the same reasons why I like Dedman. So the price between the both of them is what, $6,600. There's no way between the two of those guys you can't get 40 fantasy points. You get 20 from each and you're happy. All right. And then the rest of the lineup is fire around it. Now, this is not the lineup that I had that was non-Westbrook, but it is a good lineup. I like how it looks. I am going to show you guys the 2 lineups that I came up with earlier. The other one is pretty similar. The non-Westbrook one had Kyrie, Drew, Gallinari, Davis, Dedman, Dragic, Kyle Anderson. So instead of Moutier on this other one, I threw Patty Mills in. And they're interchangeable. You could throw one or the other. You know, Patty Mills is $200 more. You can get him. So this was my non-Westbrook lineup. But to be honest, if Nelson is ruled out before lock, I'm going to go Moutier. Without a doubt. All right. Moutier, even the last game with Nelson playing, with him shooting poorly, only 1 for 5, only scoring 6 points. He still got rebounds and assists, and he hit value for his price. So when Nelson is out, you just got to go Moutier and just feel good about it. I can't stress that enough, especially in good matchups. All right. Now, so that's the Non-Westbrook. Now let's bring in the Westbrook lineup. I like this one a lot. Same way. It doesn't look too different than a non-Westbrook. It's just a little more limited. This one has Russell Westbrook, Drew Holiday, Gallinari, Larry Nance Jr., who's in a very good spot. They don't have too many bigs, so Nance has been consistent in the 30s since Zubac going out, and think they're gonna give him the shot. Nance is, if he gets a start, Nance is a go. Um, Lakers. I didn't really speak about the Lakers. I don't know why. I didn't get into this last game for some strange reason. Ennis. Okay. Ennis is in a good spot. If Clarkson is doubtful, from what I understand, and so is D'Angelo Russell, I'm almost thinking that you have to play Ennis tomorrow. Okay. Ennis put up 33 fantasy points in 39 minutes, and he seems to be pretty good for a point per minute. I'm not gonna play Ennis for 5K, but I think it's a good play. Okay. Randall, Thomas Robinson. All these bigs against Sacramento are good plays tomorrow. I like Larry Nance because he can do a lot. He'll get you rebounds. He'll score. Steals, blocks. He'll fill up the entire stat sheet and make you happy. So this is my Westbrook lineup. It's Westbrook, Drew, Gallinari, Larry Nance, Dwayne Dedman, Goran Dragic, Bertans. David Bertans might get the start tomorrow, and again, he's minimally priced. Kyle Anderson. So pretty much what I did was surround Spurs value with a bunch of studs, and I feel good about it. So that's my Westbrook lineup. All right. Let's eavesdrop on this Aminu game and see what Aminu is doing for us, man. Let's see. Let's eavesdrop. So coming, and I knew Rubio was gonna go off. I bet you Rubio was the reason why they're up. I knew Rubio was the plug today. I knew it. I just knew it. Let's see. Rubio has 5 points, 2 assists. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not too great. Nothing crazy. Wiggins. Wiggins is the guy going off right now. On Portland side, Al Farouk Aminu is the plug. He has the most points for that team in the first quarter. He's already at 10. If he can average 10 per quarter, we are going to be happy, guys. Yes, Al Farouk Aminu is doing okay. I like the look at that. I like it, like it, like it. He already got what, 12, about 12, 13 in the first. That's not bad for Aminu, right? Let's see. 12 points at the end of the first. So I think Amino is going to double. What's his stat? Let me see. How many rebounds he has? 3? Yeah, I think he'll go like 15 points, 12 rebounds, something like that is what I'm looking for from him. So that's it. That's the end of the breakdown, guys. I'll be back on at around 6 o'clock tomorrow before lock. I'll see what values are apparent and I'll chase it and we'll do well. We'll win money. On the way out, hit the thumbs up button. Like my videos. I know you like my videos. Give me a thumbs up, guys. Let me see what you guys talking about before I go. Take Goran out and put. I have Drew. Gallinari scare you. Don't be scared of Gallinari. He's okay. Don't like Adams. I like Adams. Booker too high. I agree. Brusino. I like Brusino. Brusino, I've been overlooking. I know I wanted to play him the other night, and I didn't get to him in time, and he still had a good game. And they still have a minimal price against a Spurs team that's shorthanded. The guy played 9 minutes, and put up 18 fantasy points. All right, so that's a value that it's hard to ignore, man. 9 minutes and double that. 33 minutes, he put up 33 and 17, 12. So in a matchup where there's limitations, it will have to become apparent. I will have to see what Dallas have planned for the day before going with Brosino. But definitely like Brosino. Yes, that's a good call. And please come to the live show tomorrow and remind me. All right. He said, no, Deadman, bro. Don't do it. Please don't do it. I got to go Deadman. I love Deadman. You said no Deadman, and then you said I like Deadman. So you're confusing me, Jeremiah. Love Nance. Put him in non Westbrook lineup. Then we talking money. Yeah, I mean, it's something we could look at tomorrow again. Let's see. If I entertained Jeremiah idea of no Moutier, right? In the non-Westbrook lineup, we can do something like we can take out, we can get some Nance in for 5K and then have 6,500 for a guard and throw. It's really no one, man. No, we could throw a forward in there too. We could throw in it's really no one to really mess with. That's why I'm not Carly Stein is in a good spot against the Lakers. I like that matchup. I like it a lot. And look at this guy, he's heating up. Carly Stein's heating up. The minutes are there. They're resting all those guys. So against the Lakers, could consider some Carly Stein. Throw some Carly Stein in there. All right. Throwing some Carly Stein with some Nance Jr. and leave Deadman. Throwing some guards for that price. It's a lot of guards for value tomorrow. We can I don't like Eton Moore. He's been okay. Against Denver, he went off for 23. Eton Moore in a good matchup. Might return some value. For that price, I'll probably go see San Antonio. Who they got for me? I don't know. I'll have to look into it tomorrow. But that's something worth some entertaining. All right. Love that lineup. I like Deadman after you show the stats. Yeah, Deadman is not bad, man. Don't be scared of Deadman because he let us down. It's the reason I played him that game. Deadman, when you look at him, outside of that last game, Utah, 23 minutes, he put up 25. That's a tough matchup. That's the matchup that he won up money over the weekend, all right? 18 minutes in Golden State, 16, 20 in Cleveland, 25, 21 in New York, 20. So whenever he gets minutes in the 20s, he's gonna perform. Don't be afraid of Deadman. This Lakers thing was an anomaly, man. Lakers jumped out to a good start. Pop took out the guys who weren't doing well. LaMarcus, Pau Gasol had a lot of minutes. It's gonna be a different dynamic tomorrow. All right. Don't be afraid of Mr. Deadman. Let's see what else. And that seems to be it. So I am going to the sack to get some rest. I mean it, guys. I really like how the lineup looks for tomorrow. We're gonna run two to be with Westbrook and to not be with Westbrook. We're gonna see how it works for us. By the way, Rubio is going off. He has 13 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. So that's 21 fantasy points in the first quarter. He's on pace to score about 60 tonight. I did like Rubio quite a bit. I don't know how I got away from him, but that's all right. That's okay. We can't cry over that now. I'm out. I'm out, guys. I'll see you guys at 6 o'clock tomorrow, and we're gonna get that check in. We're gonna fill our tummies up.